G'day everyone. There was a comedian I saw once in a random Netflix show. I forget who it was, and I forget what the show was, but there's this joke that just has stuck with me. It was like, blank prayers be like. So it was like, so prayers be like, and one of them was like, 30, mid 35 and up or 50, I don't remember, but it was like, middle-aged prayers be like, Lord, why am I so tired? And it got me because, okay, I'm mid-30s, but it's like, it's so weird being a content creator. And I've done a lot of content over many years, and this vlog is an example of like when I started this vlog, it was like almost 10 years ago, it was like maybe 8 years ago. I should check, but I'm not going to. And I daily vlogged. I daily vlogged with like, it was a simple goal. It was like I was going to answer a question of the day, show what I was working on that day. And the goal grew over that year in terms of like, not the goal, that what I did stayed the same, but how I did it slowly grew in terms of like, I did more, I showed more, I got excited about telling more of the story. But then by a year's time, it became a little damaging almost. It was like, I couldn't interact with a normal day without constantly thinking, what's the narrative of today? To the point where, it would negatively affect how I was parenting. It would negatively affect how I was in my relationship or how productive I could be, because I kept anchoring to this obligation I gave myself, which is then when I started to take the brakes off. And I think ever since then, this channel has gone through loads of twos and fro's of what it is. And sometimes it's been higher production value. I've gotten editor's help, to like tell more of the stories and go more behind the scenes and all this stuff. And then there have been times where it's just like, once every couple of weeks, I'll do a 15-minute unedited blurb to camera and blah, 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 blah. But I think at least in that, I'm feeling now, I've been feeling sort of ever since that time that I've been frustrated trying to find what this vlog is. But I think it's always wanted to be what it initially was, which was just a way for me to check in with you guys. I'm really hating this lighting because the auto white balance is making me look greasy and pink. Hang on, let me fix this. Use you behind the scenes. A little bit of matte powder, and we'll go in some clean lighting. What was I talking about? So that's a little nicer. I guess what I'm getting at, and I hate that I'm doing this because the amount of times I've announced what this channel is, and then everyone always responds the same way, which is like, whatever you can do, whatever you do is fine, is good enough, and that's very nice and supportive. But I'm worsely pink now, and I've made it worse. God damn my attention span. No, I've turned the lights off. Okay. This matters to me just because I'm looking at my big old pink face in the selfie cam. Here we go. There we go. This is what you sign up for. Good lighting and vlog. No, so what I'm trying to get at is, and why I started with what I started with is, I'm trying to do so much all the time. And the reason this vlog ends up going on the back burner is because of everything else I'm trying to do. And there's things that have fallen by the wayside in the last few years as I've put my goals or my wants in terms of like starting a game company or tabletop time, insert art, the products I'm developing, and then obviously content that have meant that the small, simple things have slowly sort of drifted away because they feel like they're not as important. They feel like they're not going to get to that goal. You know what I mean? Like it feels so substantial to finish a product or to launch a channel. And it's exciting and I love that. And I love that feeling of making something substantial and sharing that with people. But then also what happens is because I let go of the small, slow, steady little things like having a connection with you or having like this vlog, it becomes less of a thing people have been a part of anyway, and it's a bummer to me. And I actually, more and more, I'm realizing this small stuff matters so much. The reason I started off talking about being tired isn't just to say that I've been doing a lot and it's been exhausting me. I used to do as much, just in different ways and maybe sort of less successfully. But the difference is, but one of the things is I'm not very physically active these days. I used to have PTs multiple times a week, so I used to vlog it. Early last year, early 2023, I still had a PT. I had booked for 2 sessions a week. I cancelled half the sessions because of how busy I got. In the end, he needed to move. So all of last year, I haven't had a PT, which also meant all of last year, I've had zero fitness activity, zero. And just not being conscious of it until the last few months where like my lower back is getting worse and worse and worse. And I've just been putting it down to like maybe I've pulled it or whatever. Like I'll injure my back and then it's sore for like a month. And I'm like, why am I not recovering from this? And it's just because I'm so unfit now or out of practice that my body's like, nah, we're going to be restrictive and tight. And I saw a physio and he's like, well, what exercise are you doing? And I'm like, oh, okay, none. So, but that's an example of like the small, slow, steady thing of just something as simple as exercising a couple of times a week and not putting the pressure on myself of like, it has to be this big exercise session, otherwise it's not worth it. But just sort of keeping fit it has been something that has enabled me to do lots that I just haven't factored it in my equations until this year, where I'm like, I've been working on this video just leaning over a table. By the end of one day, leaning over, not even like I'm still in a good chair with good back support. And by the end of the day, my lower back is killing me because I'm not supporting my body to support me in some of the work I do. I think the reason that feels fitting to sort of mention, aside from the fact that, sharing that I want to get physically active again, both to, enable me to do my work better, but also like to have more energy. Like I feel like, why am I tired all the time? I think it's because I've slowly been giving less attention to my body, which has meant my body's been able to give me less back. And then all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, I'm mid-30s, I'm getting older, I'm tired all the time. But I should be able to kick ass in the same way I did 8 years ago. The difference is I'm paying less attention to the things that enable me to live a more rounded, sort of full life that helps me to be active in more different ways than just, productivity output all the time. The reason I'm sharing all that, and I've covered the vlog stuff, is, if you haven't guessed, also because I think the thing that I have been feeling has been missing from this channel and from, as I've been trying to find it, has been the slow, small, steady stuff. It's literally been what it started as, which was question of the day and what I'm doing today. And I struggle to keep things in boundaries, which is why it kept growing and elevating in terms of how high production value it is, how much I tell a story. But I am deciding, and this is, I hope I can stick to this, but I'm really feeling this quite strongly right now, and it's sort of been building up. So I'm just sharing it because I want this impulse to be something that I'm just going to do. I want to bring it back to basics. I want to do this daily, and this has taken me 9 minutes so far. I can do 9 minutes a day, but just check in with you guys and do those two things. Question of the day, and check in with what I'm working on or what's on my mind, even if it's at the end of the day. I only have 3 minutes. I'm bloody exhausted because I've been working on what I've been working on. I really want to do that because I do feel like over time, with all the things I've taken on, I've felt a little more distant from you as an audience. And that's a real shame because you are the most important thing to me. You are the reason I do everything I've been doing. And we've got this new neon sign I'll show you in another vlog upstairs that says, create inspiring things, inspire creative people. It is why I do what I do. You are why I do what I do. And I think it's sometimes easy to forget that because you get focused on the stuff that stands out more. But the little quiet stuff, it turns out, is pretty bloody important. Like checking in, looking after yourself. So I want to do that more. And I look forward to reading your comments about this stream of consciousness splurb. But thanks for watching. And I know there's a lot of people who have come and gone over the years. I think if there's anything I am aware of as a content creator for over 10 years now, is that people watch you sometimes and then they don't watch you for a long time, and sometimes they come back, and that's cool. But you right now watching this video, you're now. You are allowing me into your life. And I really appreciate that. And some of you have been here for a long time. Some of you have come back after a break. Some of you are new. Wherever you're at, thank you. I love what I do. I don't know why I'm emotional, but I feel like it's time to reconnect. You know, I feel like I'm really looking forward to this year. I feel like I've been channeling this in my main videos. I'm on my third video this year. The first two videos, I've been like meditating before recording and just reminding myself how lucky I am and how much I love this. And it's made all the difference from turning it into this job. It becomes a job into like, I have the dream job. This is amazing. And all it takes is thinking about it, thinking about how grateful you are, and totally transforms your experience. And I'm loving that. And I'm on video 3, and I feel like I'm starting again. I feel like I'm back 8 years ago. And that's why I'm doing this, I think, because I want this. I want this the way it was. And there's nothing stopping that except me stopping myself to connect with you. So thanks for watching. See you later. I promised myself I wouldn't edit this video, but I have to add this. So I'm technically now officially editing it because I'm putting it into an editing program to add, hey, questions of the day. The amount of time I've said question of the day is back and then not followed up on that is shameful. So I apologize. But in the next vlog, and the next vlog, and the next vlog, I'll be doing questions of the day. And my boundary will be, I'm doing vlogs every work day. I'm going to fit in my calendar and it will be something like this. Sometimes it'll be interesting, sometimes it'll be banal, sometimes it'll be long, sometimes it'll be short. It's whatever I can do, but I want to reconnect with you. And in each of those, I'm going to do a question of the day from the last video. So if yours doesn't get answered, feel free to sort of re-add it unless it, until I get a chance to look at it. But yeah, leave your questions down below, and the instructions on how to leave the question are in the comments. And I'll see you in the next vlog. Bye again.